Hey guys, Sean here. So something happened to me a while back. This would have been late middle school age. So eighth grade. Okay. Now this is totally a true story. I have no interest nor desire to put out fake or made up information. It does me no good. It does you no good. Part of it is credibility. It's very important to me. And another part is integrity. Okay, I'm not going to put out. I'm not going to make stuff up. That doesn't do either of us any good. So this actually happened, and when it happened, I didn't understand how it happened. It just did. It just did happen. Didn't understand the dynamics behind the scenes on how it could be possible. It just happened. Years later, now I have a better understanding of how the hell that could have happened. Okay. Also, before I tell the story, the Mandela effect. When I refer to the Mandela effect, I am referring to it sometimes as the classic definition or the classic examples, basically the Berenstein-Bears phenomenon. Right? Um, However, the Mandela effect is a symptom of something bigger. Something bigger is that humans shift or move from one physical reality to another, and we do it all the time. And the Mandela effect is that shifting from reality to reality, but somehow we're becoming aware, we're remembering a previous reality. So now there's a disconnect from one to the other. It's like anyway. So yeah. A lot of people say, hey, you're describing this experience you had. This has nothing to do with the Mandela effect. It's not Mandela effect. I get it. It's not the classic Mandela effect, but there's the personal Mandela effect. ME, personal me's. But it's the Mandela effect is it is under a bigger umbrella, and I'm trying to get at that umbrella of shifting into parallel realities. The Mandela effect is just a great way, a great segue. It's a great bridge for people who didn't have an awareness that parallel realities are quite real. And now with the Mandela effect stuff, it makes it easier for people to be more open-minded to it. So if I have Mandela effect in my heading, I might be talking about the classic Mandela effects, or I might be talking about shifting into a parallel reality. Okay, so now the story. Like I said, I was in around eighth grade. I was working. I was under the legal working age, but back then you could work under the table sometimes for like a family, babysitting or whatnot. So I was working in a video store. It was a privately owned video store, and I was getting paid some money per hour to watch the store. And when people would rent videos, I would just take their information and give them the video. Very simple. But anyway, I remember that night. I had a lot of free time on my hands. There was a girl I was interested in who lived in my neighborhood, a few streets away, about my age. And we were like neighborhood acquaintances, not even like friends. We both were in the same school, but we just weren't really, we weren't really friends. But we knew one another because we had mutual friends in the neighborhood. And once in a while, we'd see each other. We could identify each other by name, but it wasn't like we ever hung out. We just didn't. So anyway, but I was interested in this girl, and I thought, now this is getting kind of personal, but it's important because what happened was quite hard to believe happened. But anyway, yes. So I have all this free time on my hands at the video store, and as like an eighth grader, right? And for maybe a 2-hour time period, I was praying to God to get to I wasn't thinking, I was thinking of going out on a date. That would have been more like high school, college, going out on a date. I just wanted to kiss her, I just wanted a kiss. That would be so cool. I was like super like, so I'm praying to God, please, 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 please. I want to kiss her, just once, please. I was like begging. Pretty sad, right? I just ask her, right? So anyway, I was shy back then, so I didn't want to ask her. So I was begging, praying to God, and I was focusing intensely. I was like so my energy was so like laser focused. Just bam! I was here in my head, here in my heart. Bam! That's what I wanted. And I for about 2 hours, not straight, but for the majority of about 2 hours, I was hell bent on that idea. What happened? Can you guess? The next day, she calls me up. This was before cell phones. She called my house, my dad, our family landline. She could get my number from one of our mutual friends. We had several in the neighborhood. She calls me up, wants to know if I want to come over and hang out. Her parents are asleep. We can hang out on the porch. We watch the stars or something. It was so out of left field. I was in disbelief. Like it just that what the hell? Just out of the blue. So I went over there and we kissed twice that night. Probably hung out for felt like about 2 hours. I don't know. It could have been more. It could have been less. It was a couple hour range. Yep, kissed like twice. I was a little awkward then, so I wasn't like putting on the moves or trying to like set up a date after. It was an experience. And then a day or two later, I called and asked if we want to hang out again in a similar situation, but she, she was worried her parents were going to wake up or whatnot. It just never happened again, ever. But it did happen that one time, and it was one day after I put all that energy into that idea. So was it a coincidence? Sure, people win the lottery, right? Could have been a coincidence. I don't think so. That happened because of the energy I was giving off the day prior. You can change your future. It's possible. And that was such a clear, unambiguous, unmistakable example of that happening. So yeah. So I thought that might be something to maybe give you an idea on how to control. Now listen. There's been a whole crap ton of times since then where I really wanted something. It wasn't like that 2 hours straight thing. I'm gonna pour like 2 hours of like energy into like one. I could, but I just generally don't. Because I'm pretty content. I'm pretty happy. So I don't feel. I guess if I really, really, really wanted to work with this energy and see about making a change that dramatic, I could practice with that. But I've been maybe playing around with more subtle things, not so extreme as that. But that shit happened. Totally 100% legit.